I would love to be there with you this morning just to share all that God is doing in San Carlos. As I share with you this morning, it's hard for me to really understand and to fully grasp why God has chosen the special place of Casa Esperanza to have so much ministry flow out of it. I am humbled by it, so humbled by it. And I pray that you'll hear that in my voice as I share that what God is doing and has done in the past year, the last few months. It just is really amazing to me that God is pouring his heart and his salvation and his spirit and all that right down on us in San Carlos. The ministry just continues to grow, and I am so glad. I am so glad. I had no idea, or that Art and I had no idea that these things would take place with our involvement. I think we probably would have run away, to be honest with you. But God knows why he called us and why he asked us to do these things. The one thing that I want to share with you is we've started a second feeding program. It's called Bayan Casa de Pan, which has just really, it's been going on for 1.5 years where we've been providing the food. But this year we started to build an actual center. It's a 2-story building, and the bottom floor will be the feeding program. Upstairs will be where Devin and Marisol Carrier will live, and then there will be other houses around it where that when mothers need a place of respite with their children and help to be able to get on the right track, they can come and stay there. Devin and Marisol have raised most of the finances. We've been able to provide the teams and then also to do the hard labor and to get things going, and then also some additional finances. It's exciting partnering with them in the feeding program and knowing that God is providing a place for these children in the second poorest community in Guaymas area. The other thing that we did this year was the backpacking trip. We've talked before about the motorcycle trips. This year, though, some guys and gals chose to backpack into 10 different communities. You can't go there by motorbike. You can't go there any other way except by foot or by mule. And so the kids decided that they would, the kids being the younger ones, decided they would hike in there in order to take the gospel. They took everything by battery operated for a sound system and the Jesus film and took a screen along and went and shared. In each of those communities, they found 1 or 2 believers, which was very exciting. So it was very exciting for them just to have the encouragement of heart in order to keep running the race strong and keep sharing with others the message of Christ, and then also to just share the gospel again through film for those who hadn't yet become believers. In some towns where they were bigger, they actually put a film. They had 2 projector units. They put a film for the Christians, Pilgrim's Progress, and the other film they used was the Jesus film. It was a wonderful time as they spent the 6 days out in the mountains, hiking each day for 5 to 7 hours between the different towns. Came back just so excited. If you could hear what it did in the young people's heart who went, the team was formed of about 10 Canadian Americans and about 10 different Mexicans who also went on the trip. The first time that they went out, there was 25 of them. The second time they went out, there was 15 of them. So it was a really great time for them to be encouraged in their heart. We've also started working with a new pastor who's just started a work in Guaymas. He himself was a drug addict and came to know the Lord and has really been walking strong for a while, and then has started a church out of his mother's home in an area where there aren't any evangelical churches in Guaymas, which is hard to believe because there are so many. But in his area, there are none. And he just held it there. And their church has grown from being 5 people to about 20 adults, and they have about 35 children. Really great man of God who just loves the people and understands what it is to be without hope. And so we've been working alongside him, and we don't know where the Lord's going to lead us in that connection, but we know that we're to be involved in what he has in store for this young man. The other thing that happened this spring, and maybe some of you saw the pictures on Facebook on our webpage. By the way, you can go to Casa Esperanza on Facebook and look at from different teams, different pictures. They had brought the mountain men out who from these different communities. They all hiked to one meeting point, and then from that meeting point we took the bus down and we brought them back to Casa Esperanza. For 1 week we did Bible training with the men and ladies who came with along, and had different pastors from the Guaymas area be the teaching. We didn't talk about a theme, and it was very exciting to us that every man of God and every person who prepared to share spoke on the unity, the body unity, and how we have to work together and not run our own show, but just to uplift the body of Christ and grow in that, and what it means to be in true unity. It was just incredible experience for those involved. The other thing that was really exciting to us is we've been ministering to the churches in the Guaymas and the San Carlos area. This time, those churches ministered back to the pastors who'd come from the mountain area, who didn't have anything, very, very poor. So they had gathered together their clothes and brought them in order to give away those that had excess clothes, to give them away to the mountain people. And they also put money together to buy things for food hampers and baskets. So that was very exciting to us to see the ministry go full circle again, as we've been ministering to those churches and getting them started, and now them reaching back and doing similar things to those who do not have, in order to encourage their brothers and sisters in the faith. Unfortunately, this year we had to close the downtown church, the one that is affiliated with the street ministry. The street ministry of feeding the poor, Centro de Sueños, my brain just went, aging, yes, Centro de Sueños. And from there, they are now meeting in the home of Candy and Beto, but the Centro de Sueños still continues every Saturday morning faithful. They still have 50 to 100 men each Saturday morning and taking care of their needs, physical needs and spiritual needs. Beto and Candy ran into a snag, and that was about their own home. We are praising and rejoicing with the Lord that He has provided finances in order to purchase that home, which we hope to make a home church for them. They still have about 12 people who come and meet with them each Sunday, and expand the ministry right out of their home. They've liked this a lot better. It's been good for them, and it's been exciting for us to see how the Lord continues to grow that ministry, and how the street people feel more comfortable coming to their home for church as opposed to going to a church building. So we know that there's a reason and a purpose why God has allowed these steps to take place. We just couldn't continue with the rent. It was a high rent, and so therefore we chose to do this instead. And God has blessed the decision that was made, and we're so glad that He leads us each step of the way. A new thing for us this year was an eye clinic. We saw a number of patients. I believe there was over 600 they saw in 7 days. No, they were there 7 days. They only had 5 days of clinics. And so they saw over 600 people. What's exciting to us, though, is that same church went home and raised finances in order for those patients who needed eye surgery, that they would have it done. And the pastor dreamed that we'd be able to raise about $40,000 maybe to help complete most of those surgeries. Well, they surprised us, and they raised $80,000 to go directly to the people for eye surgery. So in this summer months, we've been quite busy with taking 10 people per week to have either cataract surgery done, or another disease where the flesh closes over the eye, and it's just like a cataract, but it's a different process. And people have been having that completed and done. Very, very exciting to us to see. Richard, who's overseeing that down in the ministry center right now, he has said to see someone go in who's blind and come out and they can see perfectly clear has just been so amazing, to be a part of that process and see the healing take place. And of course, praying with those people and sharing Christ and letting them know that it's a miracle all the way around, that God even has provided the finances that this can get done. It's been a really neat time of ministry. The center continues to be so busy this summer. Not only do we have all the weekends filled, but now Mexican churches are taking parts of the different weeks. And so the center is not staying empty any time at all. Pray for the staff that's there. It's a lot of work. Although they aren't planning scheduling and routine, but just having the center prepared and the meals prepared, and knowing that spiritual warfare takes place on those grounds all the time as people come and want to connect deeper with the Lord. I gotta look at my notes here. Sorry for looking off to the side. Put a new roof on in Batacosa and poured some cement in Fatima was our other two big work projects that we did. Thanking the Lord that those things were taken care of. They've been kind of on the list, but not sure when we'd be able to do them. And the Lord provided finances for both. Batacosa, the church in Carlisle, raised all the finances to do that roof. And so we are just so excited that those things have taken place. Each fall, we wonder how will we go on, what will we do next, and how will we continue, and what will the Lord lead us to. And yet, just depending upon Him, and He just seems to bring the right projects at the right time, and the right finances, and the right all along. And so we want to rejoice with you and thank you. Thank you for being a part of the ministry. From day one, you guys were there, and I just continue to thank you and from the bottom of my heart, and that the Lord would bless you richly as you continue to see what God would do and have us to do in the San Carlos, Guaymas area of Mexico. Thank you. God bless.